District 2 is definitely very varied. The Lower East Side, large NYCHA housing developments along Avenue D, the East Village with its very vibrant mixture of students and longtime residents and artists and everybody else mixed in there. And then you get north of 14th Street and you've got Gramercy Park, and it's a wonderful mixture of a lot of different kinds of New Yorkers.
The neighborhood's central. You know, we can get anywhere within a minute because we have Union Square hub, we have the L train right outside our apartment. So we like the convenience of it, and we like being close to the neighborhood we kind of grew up hanging out in, which was the East Village and Lower East Side. It's probably one of the most diverse neighborhoods. There's still a Ukrainian population 2 blocks from here, there's still an Italian population, there's still a big Jewish population, there's Puerto Rican population to the east. And that's what we really like about it too, is the diversity.
It's a pretty interesting neighborhood because it's got, you know, a long-time resident population of, you know, mostly Latino, but an increasing Chinese population. But we have over 10,000 New York City Housing Authority residents, most of whom live along our waterfront and some of the biggest campuses that we have in the city. More and more students, especially from NYU, are moving in.
This is certainly a part of the city that I think has one of the most vibrant small business scenes anywhere. I mean, until recently, neighborhoods like the East Village had almost no chain stores. They were almost entirely mom and pop independent businesses. We are seeing the chain stores starting to permeate there. And it's definitely a big issue in the community that there's been a lot of organizing around. District 2, I think, has a real crunch in terms of affordable housing. District 2 faces a lot of development pressure, and there's a lot of concern about a lot of big new buildings going up and a lot of lovely old ones being lost. Overcrowding in local schools. In places like the East Village, there's actually a wonderful former public school, the old PS 64, which sat empty there for over 20 years now. And there's a big push in the community to get it back to the community. Another big issue in the East Village is preserving community gardens because there's so little open space in neighborhoods like that. And of course now Beth Israel Hospital is going to be closing. And so that's a really big issue, both in terms of what's going to happen to those sites, because there's the potential for some very large development, as well as what's going to happen in terms of the healthcare facilities and the access to medical care.
The resiliency to storm surge, to rising sea levels. If you remember during Hurricane Sandy, this area was hit very hard. These are real, you know, ecological factors that are going to impact us more and more with climate change. We're very concerned that in the coming years, our waterfront, which of course will look beautiful with a brand new park, will come under increasing pressure for private development, and we're really scared about that. NYCHA has a huge budget deficit, which basically means that they can't afford to maintain the buildings. So you've got leaking roofs, you've got moldy apartments, you've got aging sewage infrastructure.
The neighborhood is definitely evolving, but there's still pockets. You know, like you could go on Avenue C and get authentic Puerto Rican baked goods. Countless owners throughout the whole 5 boroughs. They said if we didn't own the building, we'd be gone a long time ago. And when they don't own the building, they say it's just a matter of time. What we've seen is a big increase in the homeless population, and the drug population has come back. There's a conflict that way, where you have $1.49 million apartments, and across the street, you find heroin baggies all over the place. What I'd like to see is some sort of protection for the small mom and pop businesses that we grew up with in the neighborhood, and make things a little bit easier and appreciate the role they play in a community, which can't be overstated.
The city council person can do a few things. There's a lot that you can do in terms of the budget and where you direct funds to help improve the infrastructure. There's laws that can be passed to require NYCHA to remediate mold, and to take better care with their buildings.
This is a neighborhood where people care not just about what's going on next door, but around the country and the world. You know, these are people who really care about women's issues and immigrants' issues and racism and homophobia, and you know, and they're going to expect, I think, their city council member to be a strong advocate on all of those issues.